This year is dedicated Lili Nishmas Racholea Bas Reb Chaim Tzvi. Hello everyone, hello. So far we've been discussing one of the benefits of learning the laws of Lashon Hara, becoming a more positive person, and your words affect who you are, they create you. So I just found recently, in the overview to a lesson a day, two comments that really fit very well with things that we've been describing already. I wanted to start with that. This is sort of like an addendum to the previous two shiurim, to the previous two classes. This is from the overview of a lesson a day. It's on the source sheet on page 1, sources number 2 and 3. So first here, source number 2, it's page 24. So it says, the pasuk says, Mi yeshel chafetz chaim oivim liros tov, which means to see good. It's a very interesting language. A person who desires life, chafetz chaim, oivim liros tov, to see good. A person, and then of course the pasuk goes on, nitzor l'shon chameira usvasecha midaber mir. Guard your tongue from evil. So if you're careful with the laws of Lashon Hara, that's someone who's going to love days to see good. So it says here in the overview, what does it mean to see good? What's the connection? The answer is that seeing the good in others and in life is the engine that drives Shmiras HaLashon. But that to see good is the goal, and it's a beautiful idea. If you're two things: A, if you see good, you'll be more careful with Lashon Hara, and B, if you're careful with Lashon Hara, you're going to see good. That's what the pasuk is saying. Liros tov. A person who's careful with Lashon Hara is going to see good out there in the world. So it's to see good as the cause. It's also an effect. That's what we've been describing. If you're careful with the laws of Lashon Hara, you will end up being a more positive person. You'll see more good out there in the world. A second source, beautiful ideas here. This is on page 37 of the overview. Source 3. Shmiras HaLashon instills in children confidence in the fundamental goodness of the world and other people. They learn to judge others favorably, forming a habit that enhances every relationship in their lives, and they develop the character traits that will equip them for the lifetime endeavor of serving Hashem. If you're careful with Lashon Hara, you tend to judge people more favorably. Moreover, Lashon Hara breeds unhappiness in the speaker. The momentary gratification of engaging in gossip is far outweighed by the damage of Lashon Hara does to one's perception of the world. A speaker of Lashon Hara trains himself in bitterness and complaining. In his eyes, he is surrounded by irritating, inconsiderate, flawed people who make his world a disappointing, uncomfortable place. This is what happens. If you speak Lashon Hara, then you're seeing all the negative around you, and you really become convinced that everything around you is bad, and you end up being unhappy. If you're in a negative, bad, evil-filled world, so you're going to be unhappy. So Lashon Hara speakers tend to be more unhappy. That's what it says. Beautiful. Well, not beautiful, but very important, striking point that it fits with what we said in the previous two classes. He makes it his habit to look past the godly image of his fellow Jew and gaze intently at his every flaw. His perceptions fill his heart with anger and disdain, and his mouth gives form and life to those feelings. So this is what we've been talking about till now. This is our third goal that we have when it comes to the laws of Lashon Hara. If you're careful with Lashon Hara, it affects everything about your life, becoming a more positive person, seeing the good in people, being liros tov, you see good out there. You're a happier person. All the things we've discussed in the several things that we discussed in the previous two classes, and these sources fit there very well. Okay. So that's the third goal that we've been discussing. The broader goal, how being careful with the laws of Lashon Hara will affect our lives in general. Our first two goals, as we mentioned earlier, are of course number one, to learn the Sefer, go through the Sefer, and learn it with some depth and going through the footnotes. And number two, the goal is to speak less Lashon Hara. That's the goal. The goal, we have to use this learning to inspire ourselves to speak less Lashon Hara. So what I want to discuss, what I want to develop now is that these two goals are completely interconnected, intertwined. The idea of learning the Sefer in depth and the idea that we're trying to speak less Lashon Hara are totally interconnected, and this is based on a famous principle from Rabbi Yisrael Salanter Zatzal, the founder of the Mussar movement, and we're going to see several very exciting ideas based on what Rabbi Sol Salanter said. Rabbi Sol Salanter, the founder of the Muslim movement, he's known for several famous things. He's known for the Yud Gimel Midos, that a person should try to develop, to have good Midos. Okay? He's also known for his famous comment. Someone once came to Rabbi Sol Salanter and said, Rebbe, I have a half-hour a day to learn. I'm very busy with my job and other responsibilities. I have very little time to learn. So I have half an hour a day to learn. What should I learn? Rabbi Sol Salanter said, learn Musar. He said, Rebbe, look, I Chumash, Mishnah, Gemara. He said, no, learn Musar. He said, Rebbe, why learn Musar? So of course, Rabbi Sol Salanter answered, if you learn Musar for half hour a day, you'll see you have more than half hour to learn. You'll find more time to learn. And you'll end up having time to learn other things as well. These are two very famous things Rabbi Sol Salanter is known for. Okay. But maybe his most famous principle